Turn up the dial, it's 10:30. Be back. Spin that back show, all the classics on track. From 79 to 99, we're crossing the gap. Album reviews, little known facts, hip hop intact. Saturday mornings, dive into the history. Samples and stories, old school mysteries. Early South static, Shiraz and CDD. Nola Badapine. Turn it up, let the vinyl spin. 10:30 sharp, where the stories begin. From the golden era, treasures within. Spin that back show every Saturday when we break it down, the legends and the lore. Every beat, every rhyme, uncover more. From Grandmaster Flash to Nas's Raw, we're bridging the past, hip-hop's core.
Damn, that's a tight ass intro.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the guy that did that, man, he put some work on it.
Saturday, August 8th, 2026. It's the Spin That Back show. We are back once again. Today we got Mr. Nice Guy and we got Mr. Floyd X in the house.
Yeah, I ain't been here so long. This place looks so unfamiliar to me. I'm glad to be back.
Yes, sir.
Man.
Hey, we got a good show for y'all today. Yes, sir. We're going to be talking about the greatest debut albums, and we talk about hip-hop from the years of 79 to 99, everything in that era right there. So we're going to talk about the greatest debuts, no matter if they were featured on another song, they came from a group, whatever their first release, either a EP or album, we're going to talk about the greatest releases, debut releases from groups or artists from that time frame. So let's get to the getting, y'all. What's going on?
Chilling.
That's what's up. Yeah, man. I'm real excited to talk about this. You know, honestly, it was just so fun to just go back and revisit a lot of this stuff because I went back to listen to some stuff and it was just, man, I felt like I was a kid again. You know what I'm saying?
All that shit you just named 2 minutes before the show started. I'm sitting there like, I forgot all of them.
Yeah. Mr. Nice Guy got a good list up in here. I'm just gonna go through. I order my albums and everything. I just like pick out which ones I think was like the ones that made an impact on me. You know what I'm saying? Because I got my number one, I believe. I'm gonna say that for a little bit later. So let's talk about some of them. No, let's go back. Let's start from like the early '80s, and for me, I would say the first great album debut, in my opinion, was Run DMC.
Ooh.
Hey, you know, first of all, you know, Rock Box. That's what got us on to MTV. You can say whatever you want to say about Run DMC. Run DMC opened up doors, but Rockbox there wasn't, you know, Michael Jackson was like the first black person to get on MTV, but Rockbox got rap. That was the first rap to get onto MTV. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, just that segment with him scratching, that's what made me want to become a DJ. Just a few two little seconds where their heads flipped over, and then they just, you know, and my DJ and and I just was like, Mom, I need some turntables in the mixer, and that happened. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that first album, I always associate that album. Back in that day, people used to be blasting music in their cars. You know, you get tickets for that stuff now, but back in the day, just that, you know, you had ridiculous sound systems and vehicles, you know, and just handheld radios. So, you know.
See, like I was like 13, 14 when that album came out, and I was oblivious to music and release dates type of stuff. You just walking one day, you just hear a good song, you be like, what is that? And then you talking with your friends and you start learning, and that's how I learned about Run DMC. My brother came home, popped it in and started playing it, and we sitting there just loving the beats and everything. You know, I was just getting into music. So, you know, at that early age, I didn't know about releases and debuts, and as far as I was concerned, Run DMC must have been around forever.
That's real. And like you said, that was the first one we saw on MTV or, you know, videos and stuff like that. Man, that was crazy at Rockbox. Oh, somebody else is joining the fold. Looks like Mr. Walker's trying to jump in here. Where you at, Mr. Walk?
Gotta get his shit together.
Okay, you getting it together.
There you go.
There you go.
Bring him in here. Okay.
Why you windy? You look like you inside and I still hear wind.
Can you hear us?
Uh-oh.
He done
froze. Technical difficulties over there.
Connection. Oh, it's coming. We heard something.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Here you come.
You done changed. What's up, Wop?
we're gonna spin Mr. Walker about. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but like I was saying that Run DMC album, that first album was, man, it had bangers on there. Rock Box, Hard Times, Sucker MCs, It's Like That, Wake Up. Oh man, come on, man.
Jam Master Jay. I remember the first time I heard someone blasting that, and I just was like, man, that's just my joint right there, man. And it's the patterns that they do. You know, let's give respect to the pioneers that came before them. Because Run DMC really learned from like the Cold Crush Brothers. They were using those routines and stuff like that. But you know, they brought that park energy to the vinyl and to the world, and they did it spectacularly, man. Suit to the kings.
Right. Mr. Walk, I muted you. You're making a lot of noise. I don't know if you can hear us yet, but unmute yourself if you got something to say, brother. We can't hear you.
Yes. So we'll come back to
Mr. Walker. I guess back.
One out. Hilarious.
Until we get this thing together, we're gonna have to just do that right there. But like I said, yeah, Run DMC first album, that was a great album. Hey, what else you got on your list from the early days?
So also from that era, you know, you got
80s.
Would you say? Well, we'll go there with Houdini, because you know what I'm saying.
Oh, hell yeah!
Yeah, so you know what I'm saying, because Houdini, I remember them. They were on the first, like when Arsenio, before Arsenio show became the Arsenio Hall show. He was basically like guesting for the late night show that Joan Rivers used to have. And I remember, like, you know, like his first show, he had like Houdini on there. So, you know what I'm saying? Houdini was just a massive, you know, a show, you know, 5 minutes of funk, you know what I'm saying? The Freaks Come Out at Night, you know, Big Mouth, you know what I'm saying? And stuff like that.
Their production was on point, man. Their production was like a whole different level from Run DMC. I ain't gonna say better. It was just a whole different sound. Because Run DMC had the drums and the kicks and shit, but they had a whole thing that
They had music.
Did they use the same producer though, Larry Smith?
I don't know.
They did, but he might have been even more advanced at that point in time, because you know how you start adding some more tools. But the bottom line is, you know, they have more like synthetic. Like when you think 5 minutes of funk, it's, you know, you're hearing more keyboard and stuff like that. Run DMC was really about sort of like the drum machine and stabs and stuff, like, especially when you talk about like LL Cool J and stuff like that. But I mean, LL's album is another one of those, you know, 80s joints that was like, you know, I mean, LL took over. You know what I'm saying? LL, everybody was rapping one way. LL Cool J came out, they started rapping differently.
I mean, LL was the bridge between what we considered like the old school to like the new school at that time. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to think hip hop was still young at that time. So LL was like, what, 16, 17 years old when he came out?
Yeah.
So yeah, he was like the bridge. He was like the bridge between the old school and what was getting ready to be the new school. So yeah, and plus his first album, Radio, is a classic too, a classic debut.
There you go, Brother Walk.
Mr. Walk, you got something to say about that?
Oh, man,
be careful.
One more time. We can stay together. Do stuff together over there, brother. LL Radio was a great ass album. You gotta admit, it had nothing. It had nothing but bangers on there. The first album,
and really, he mastered the whole rap love song type thing. You know what I'm saying? Because he had like 2 songs on there. He had like I Need Love, which was like a big hit back in the day. But then he also had I Want You. So this dude, you know, LL stand for Ladies Love. He didn't run away from it. So in where you talk about dudes was all tough and macho and stuff like that, he wasn't afraid to sort of like get tender and sort of like be the rap Barry White or something. You know what I'm saying? So, you know.
That's amazing. He did open a whole new lane, a love song, a rap love song. That was amazing. And it was a good ass song, huh?
I Want You like a love song too?
That's what I said. He had 2 of them. He didn't just have one. He had 2 of them on there. You know what I'm saying?
I Need Love was so.
On the second album though. It was on Bigger Than Deffer.
No.
Oh no. Yeah, it was.
Maybe a remix was on there. It was originally on the first album. On Radio, it had I Need Love, and also it had I Want You. That was on the first Radio album.
You sure about that?
Yes.
I Need Love was on Bigger and Deffer.
It may additionally been on there. Go back and look at the radio track listing.
I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah. It was I Need Love. I Need Love was not when he got to the bigger and deeper. That was a much more sophisticated level of production. I Need Love is kind of a basic song. You know what I'm saying? So
Oh, Mr. Nice Guy, we got to check you on that one right there.
It is.
I Need Love was on Bigger and Deffer on the Bad album.
Yeah.
Bigger and Deffer. Mr.
Additionally,
Walker.
let's pull up the radio.
We got Mr. Charles X in the house, though. There we go. We got somebody in here that can explain of this. Hey, Mr. Charles X, where did I Need Love come on? What album was I Need Love on?
If I had to guess, I would have said Radio, right?
No.
Well, which one?
Bad.
Oh yeah, right, yeah, for sure. I'm tripping.
Let's ask Mr. Walker. Mr. Walker, I know LL is your favorite artist of all time in hip hop. What album was I Need Love on?
What up? Bigger and Deffer, baby.
Yeah, it wasn't on the first one. Nice Guy, you're wrong.
I stand corrected. It looks like it doesn't.
El Pooh, you got to spin Nice Guy out of here now.
And I Want You was on there, so I'm surprised that I Want You was the first one.
Well, put you in timeout real quick. Spin the bell back.
Absolutely.
He did have 2 love songs on his first album, Radio.
What's the other one then? If it's not I Need Love, it was Yo Rock.
No, he had I Want You.
I Want You.
I know. That's like if you want to go to the crib, eat some cookies and milk. We'll listen to a pop tune or some shit.
But you said 2 songs. I Want You is one. What's the other love song?
Are y'all talking? I can't.
Yeah, we talking to you.
Yeah, don't worry about it. He can.
Oh man, something wrong with this audio, man.
Okay, we're going to
just go on, come back. Come back.
Can you hear?
Yeah.
But I'm gonna tell you, since we're talking about it, I probably jumped the gun because I want to talk about the Boogie Boys. But since we're talking about LL Cool J, I Need a Beat was the joint.
Hey, can I say this real quick?
Can you hear us?
Go ahead, so next.
Okay.
So y'all started in the new school revolution, more like the mid '80s, but so you're going back into that '79, early '80s. Then I didn't hear anybody say anything about. I did hear somebody say Houdini. Somebody said Houdini, but I didn't hear Curtis Blow. I didn't hear Sugar Hill, The Sequence, Grandmaster Flash,
Wait. Student X, apologies. There's the reason we don't mention too much of that because that was kind of a trash era. Respectfully, though. A lot of that stuff.
I thought y'all were breaking it down by era.
We're talking about like
the best. We're talking about the best debut albums, So we're not just talking about debut albums that came out. We're talking about
all ball one and the one in the era we in right now, which is the mid '80s. Just off the wall. Y'all probably gonna laugh, but you're gonna be like, after you stop laughing, you can be like, damn. But I'm gonna say the Beastie Boys License to Ill.
Oh, that's on the list. That's on the list.
It's definitely on the list. I mean, honestly, pretty much all their albums are dope as albums to me. I don't know if I can recall a single Beastie Boy album that wasn't dope. So I mean,
I'm talking about debut. I mean, think about when they hit the scene with that album right there. It blew a lot of people away.
Yeah.
It was one of those albums you can listen to all the way through.
Yeah. It crossed over across to everybody, all different genres and everything, So it definitely had a lot of influence.
Now, what you said about Kumo D, Nice Guy?
I said Kumo D didn't like it, but still, but we all thought it was dope because he gave it the report card. Remember?
Well, speaking of Kumo, his first album was actually pretty good too, though.
That's getting kind of further down the line, but he came out with a mature album. You know what I'm saying? Because he's actually from like older school.
Yeah.
Like, we're gonna.
Man, I'm not hearing some of y'all, brother.
Yeah, that's that weird alpha agnostic problem, and I would say
you gotta leave and come back.
Come back. You have to literally just close your browser and come back in and hope that you'll get us.
Brother, so is the format like at the very end we're gonna say what our favorite album of all time period is, regardless of era, and right now we just going by era, we just building up for it. Is that what's happening?
That's basically.
Okay, cool. I just want to make sure I don't jump the gun or anything like that.
Well, he just said that we're gonna throw some things out there because what we were first talking about is we were gonna kind of come up with our personal top 10s. But you know, we just kind of throwing stuff out there since you know there's gonna be some bleed over. But you know, like I said, you brought up Beastie Boys, but I want to say the Boogie Boys. Fly Girl was one of those joints that was just like all over as far as cars bumping and stuff like that. So you're talking about Fly Girl, you're talking about You Ain't Fresh, you know what I'm saying? When you talk about production, they were elite, like music-wise. You know, if you go listen to their first few albums at the time, you know what I'm saying? The Boogie Boys were that.
I don't think I ever listened to a full Boogie Boys album. Fly Girl is the only song I could name from them. They had a whole album.
They had a whole album. You ain't heard that song, You Ain't Fresh? Because that was like a big song from back in the day. But if you go listen to their second album, to me, their second album is stronger, but we're just talking about the debut album. That's like, for me, I want to say I'm going to say something positive about Public Enemy, but I have some pause about that because to me, the second album was so much better than the first album. That's why it kind of takes away from
so Yo Bum Rush the Show was their debut album.
But Bum Rush the Show was their debut album. And, you know, really, to me, what really sort of like put them on the map was Rebel Without a Pause, which is still technically, you know, from the second album. It was like in between the first two albums, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, but you know.
I heard the Take the Nation first, but when I heard Yo Bum Rush the Show, I'm like, damn, what did he? Because I didn't even know that album existed. And it was a great album. The Yo Bum Rush the Show was a great album. So that's a great debut.
Yes, I agree with you. I agree with that.
My Uzi Wait Ton. Go ahead.
That was my joint. That was my favorite song from the album. My Uzi Waits a Ton, you know. So, you know, of course, using that substitution can't go wrong. You know what I'm saying?
I heard it takes the nation first, but then when I heard Yo Bum Rush the Show, I was like, man, this was a great ass album. I slept on it. I didn't know anything about it, to be honest with you.
Well, that's what their whole thing was, a radio. You know, they talked about they wouldn't get play on radio, so that was like a big deal for them. All of their songs were like dissing the radio because they weren't getting played for Bum Rush the Show. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it was. So you know, salute to PE because you know they brought that powerful consciousness. You know. And on that note, I mean, you talk about BDP, you know what I'm saying? You talk about that first. Now, that first album wasn't very conscious. That first album was just basically, you know, a nigga album, you know what I'm saying? You know, they're with guns and stuff, you know.
I think they said 50 Cent, but I think 50 Cent, your debut album, is out of our era range. We talk about 79 to 99. So
honorable mention though, the 50 Cent, because, you know, he's got some classic joints, you know what I'm saying? So, shout out to that brother. But you know, just even going back in that sort of like era a little bit, you know, we talked about honestly, MC Lyte, she had a dope ass, you know, first album, you know, and
you can put Salt and Pepper above MC Lyte, so
well, I'm just putting it out there. We always say that MC Lyte was the first female, that's what they said. I didn't realize that. So, you know, I was incorrect. Brother Walk, he corrected me. My timelines are not always good and great. But MC Lyte was the first one. You know,
what's the first Salt and Pepper album title?
I think it was Salt with a Deadly Pepper.
That's the second one. That's the second one.
The first one was
Hot, Cool, and Vicious.
There we go. Hot, Cool, and Vicious.
The entire album is a banger.
That was a banger. Yeah, Herbie Love Bug did his thing on that shit.
You're talking about, you know, My Mic Sounds Nice. You know, you're talking about
my favorite one right there.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Beauty and the Beat. Oh my goodness. You know, using that meters, the clap your hands. You know, that's just, man.
Plus, Pepper had that more femininity, you know, too. You know what I mean? You know, so I think they had a better draw, you know, as well.
Hey, I'll Take Your Man is a very feminine song.
I'll take your man.
Let me spin it back one time. Around that same era, let's take a trip down to Long Island. EPMD and Eric B. and Rakim. Both of those albums was great debuts.
Hey, real quick, shout out to the overseas viewers. You know, hip hop is universal. This person looked like they from either China or Korea, Hong Kong. That looked like Hong Kong writing to me. So salute to the overseas viewers.
Honestly, they shepherded the hip hop culture. I remember breaking was like played out in the States. And basically over in Asia, they were keeping it together as far as, you know, breakdancing, the culture and all that stuff. All of the dope Filipino DJs and stuff like that. So, you know, the Asian culture has really been a part of, not to mention.
Koreans, everybody, man. It was a trip.
Yeah, so shout out to our Asian.
Okay, she said, Boom Bap. That's KRS-One. Boom Bap.
Well, it's a style of hip hop. You know, they always talked about
But
the boom bap.
Return of the Boom Bap is KRS-One debut album. I was corrected. So
Yeah,
Boom
yeah,
Bap.
yeah. So, but you know, go ahead.
And let us say this too. We probably won't get to all your favorite artists. We're just going to speak on the ones that we can kind of recall at this time that really had an impact on us. So, like I say, EPMD, I think Eric B. and Rakim had two great debut albums around that same era. This is when like the NWAs and Eazy-E, actually Eazy-E came out first with an album. I think that was a great album. Eazy-E's first album.
Yeah, hell yeah. What was EPMD first album title? I'll be forgetting them titles, man.
The word business was in there. The word business was in there.
Strictly Business.
Strictly Business. Strictly Business. Okay.
All the albums had the word business in there.
Yeah. Yeah, that
All
was
the
a
way
good
out of business.
album. You got to chill. Hell yeah.
Well, we in this era. I mean, you know, say what you will, but ain't none had a bigger impact than me than NWA straight out of Compton.
Oh, hell yeah. That was,
Well, Eazy-E's first album did a whole lot too, though. It was a great album.
Oh yeah, for
Now,
sure.
wait, I got a question. NWA and the Posse and NWA, are those two different? Which is a debut or is that separate?
Because that was just like that
Yeah,
was like the
yeah.
posse.
NWA and the Posse was kind of like a compilation that was thrown
All right.
together.
Yeah,
So
'cause
that
they also
Straight
had-
Outta Compton
they
was
also
their
had- They
debut.
also had Ice Cube's album. I mean, Ice Cube's group on there. They had you know,
Yeah.
So that was the you know,
You had the DLC on there too with the Feel
yeah,
Fresh.
you know, see exactly.
There's another.
DLC, we have to speak on him too, since we just mentioned him. DLC album was a great album.
Yeah. You already know.
Great album.
Yeah.
You know, I was nothing but West Coast back then, y'all. I wasn't even listening to nothing
right.
East Coast. I mean, a little bit the old school. You know what I mean? But
Yeah, my association was always been mostly East Coast. You know what I'm saying? I respect it, like NWA, because to me in the beginning they were definitely kind of more conventional hip hop and stuff like that. But I was West Coast underground. So we talking about West Coast underground. We talking about King T. We talking about the Alcoholics.
yeah, for sure. I like all them too. You know what I
Alcoholics.
mean?
That's one of my favorite albums of all time. I'm just gonna tell you that Liquid. That
What's
song
up?
gets me on the dance floor every single time. You know what I'm saying? That's my joint.
I
right
don't
there.
drink and drive because I might spill my drink.
Breathalyzer, so they put me in a clink. Word, yes, you know. So yes, the Alcoholics. I used to chase them whenever they performed. I was at their shows. I was following them around like a group, like you know what I'm saying. They was my favorite little clique. Alcoholic, basically liquidation. So you had King T, you had Dilated Peoples, you had Exhibit. You know, you had the Alcoholics. You had what's that dude group? Man, I can't
was
believe
hard.
There's another group that had that song, the Psych Move. I apologize that I forgot the name of the group, but you know, they had Quasimodo in there, and I forgot. But I'm just saying that they were like the West Coast Wu-Tang. So you know what I'm saying. So shout out to what they were doing. That was a dope. And they are the barbershop MCs. You know what I'm saying. Matter of fact, not only that, you know, Defari, Feel the Agony. You know what I'm saying. All of those people came out of basically, you know, the liquidation movement. So you know, shout out to those cats. You know.
And we can't forget Ice-T, Ryan Page.
Hell yeah, Ryan Page. That was one of my favorite albums. I just bought Ice-T album last week. His latest album is located on icet.com.
Okay, spend that back.
But
Walk in here for no comment, but yeah, you know. Hey man, the OGs from our era been putting it down. Honestly, I love a lot of the music that I've been hearing. So you know, I'm supporting and buying. I'm not streaming, I'm buying. But you know.
Hey, there's one more album that I would mention, and you know the funny thing about it is I never really bumped the album, but there was this song I would bump over and over again, especially if the ladies was with me. A Teenage Love.
Slick Rick. Yes, sir. I was just
yeah.
mentioning. Yes, sir.
First of all, this is like arguably top 2 or 3 greatest hip hop album of all time. The Adventures of Slick Rick is that album. You know what I'm saying?
That was the debut. The Adventures of Slick Rick.
That's
Adventures of Slick Rick.
As an
That's
individual
debut.
artist, that's his
Classic,
debut.
man.
Classic. Treat him like a prostitute. The moment I feared, that really happened. I mean, not the raping part, but when he talked about getting beat up and when the dudes took his jewelry and stuff like that, he's like, you know, Boogie Down was performing and they ain't no joke. Boogie Down Production was really performing. This was literally the show where Melly Mel called out KRS-One and KRS-One got on the stage and battled him and crushed him. You know what I'm saying? And Slick Rick was in the audience and partying, and he had all that fake jewelry. And them Brooklyn kids, they something different, man. They beat him up and took all the shit. So, you know.
Who did you like better out of Dana Dane and Slick Rick?
Oh, come on. That's an insult. Slick Rick is like Dana Dane had a dope ass album, so let's talk about him too. But there's no question, you know, Slick Rick was the template. They all rap together. So, you know, that the reason why they have that same style, you know what I'm saying? They all, you know, they previously were a rap group together. So, you know what I'm saying?
That Dana Dane with Fame beat, that was amazing. That's when I really got into beats. That song, I was like, I used to love that shit.
Discotheque, yeah, that's a dope ass sample. Honestly, they got that song. This beat a dope beat, man.
Okay.
Using that Jackson 5, Enjoy Yourself.
Okay.
Man, it's so dope. And then Herbie got the shakers and stuff in there. You know what I'm saying? So it's, man, he got to, man, go visit that. And yeah, Howie T, I think was Clark Kent. Clark Kent was a masterful DJ. So you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I love it when an artist has like a real dope ass DJ. You know what I'm saying? So
straight up, especially but straight up. Straight up. And we did miss one, and I'm surprised I missed it, man. I'm shocked because I feel like I said it when I said NWA, and maybe someone mentioned it, but I don't think so, man. But Ice Cube, America's Most Wanted, came out in that era.
Goes without saying, top 5 all time.
Man.
And you know, and that, speaking of revolutionary, you know, that was a blend, a gangster, and then, you know, and bringing in that revolutionary vibe. You know what I mean? And
more so on the second album. More so on the second album than the first, but definitely. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know about 3 more people y'all forgot. We forgot. Cool G Rap.
Cool G Rap. We just let
me say this about Ice Cube real quick. The thing about his album was that you don't got Dr. Dre or the NWA production no more. What you gonna do? It was a big thing. Like, is it gonna flop? And he had to go to New York. And when he got with the Bomb Squad, they did their shit. That fucking album was a classic, dude. That shit was a classic.
Spin that back one. Like I said, G-Rap.
Cool G-Rap. Wait. So we gotta give some respect.
Wait, just take your time, El-Fu. Take your time.
Cool G-Rap is my favorite rapper of all time. So I'm gonna put some respect on this. Okay. So you're talking about, you know, it's a demo. You know what I'm saying?
What's the album title? The debut album.
Road to the Riches.
Road to the Riches. So, and that was the single, Road to the Riches. A dope ass song. You know what I'm saying? The flow that he had on it, it's just like Marley Marl did his thing on that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, you know, but I particularly love the version of It's a Demo. Like the original It's a Demo isn't as good. It's the remix that he put on that album. That's the one right there. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, he's got some bangers on there. I mean, I'm pretty sure Poison was on there. Actually, Poison, I think, was from that soundtrack from the Colors and stuff like that. But he might have had that on there as well. But the bottom line is he had some joints on there. So Truly Yours, oh my goodness. So, you know, shout out to Cool G Rap. You mentioned Big Daddy Kane.
Oh hell yeah! Ain't no half stepping. That was a
so we going backwards now.
Well, you brought us forward, so you know we had some people taking it back. We taking it back. So yeah, we talking about big. We're gonna talk about basically one. Yeah. So Big Daddy Kane, Ain't No Half Steps. Classic joint. You know, honestly, he had a song on there. The first single he dropped was Getting To It. And on the back of that song, it was Something Funky and Rhyming with Biz. And Rhyming with Biz and honestly Something Funky, they're the same beat, but this is one of my greatest hip hop songs of all time.
Rhyming with Biz?
Rhyming with Biz. That beat, it's like Marley Marl hooked it up, and just the way he was like scratching funky in the background, and then you know you had the James Brown, and then you got the you know what I'm saying? So which is basically the.
I haven't heard that song in so long.
You got to go check it out because even Redman and them did a remake of it, Rhyming with Biz, and you know had Biz on it. But really, you know, Rhyming with Biz was the fun song. That's where he had a stepping on roaches. I get ferocious, supercalifragilistic, expialidocious. That was like some like far out.
Oh yeah. I remember that.
So you know that was just you know, man. So you know, shout out to Kane because he basically laid out the style. Everybody was basically copying the style for a minute. I mean, his was like everybody copied LL when LL came out. When Big Daddy came, everybody started copying Big Daddy Kane. So.
The one that set that album off was Raw. When that song and then that somehow the live version came out, that shit was a killer, man. R-A-W. R-A-W. Terrorists. Hit us that trouble too.
That was me and Brick Wild's group. We used to scratch that all the time.
Man,
you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's near and dear to our heart. But you know, he also had did you hear the version with him and Coogee Rap on it?
I don't think I heard that.
Yeah, so go check that out. There's a version of them where they going back and forth and they murdered.
Wow.
Hey, shout out to Biz Markie around that era too, because he had a great album.
His first album, again.
Album. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Make the music with your mouth is that beat is one of the dopest beats of all time. And that's the beat that the alcoholics use in liquid. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, you know, yeah. So
hey, can we come back to the West Coast real quick? Somebody else we forgot. Too Short, Born the Mac.
Too Short. Straight up.
I don't think I ever played it. I don't think I ever played it.
That was the first album I played like this. I had the radio to my ear real low.
Right.
That's how I listened to that first album.
Yeah, it's too vulgar. Your parents can get out of here.
Yeah.
I can't believe what I was hearing.
That was crazy, man.
Real.
Too Short.
Shout out to Too Short. You know what I'm saying? I definitely grew.
Still rapping.
Musically. He's dropping an album with Lil Jon.
Yeah.
So, you know, so I'll be very
I think I saw it out already.
Yeah, so because Blow the Whistle is my favorite, actually. Too Short song. So you know what I'm saying.
Oh man, really, man. I guess
I'm not a big fan of that. I'm not a big fan of that stuff that they.
No. I don't go. I go more to radio play. The radio play one was better than me. Life is Too Short. You know, I'll pull up on your Life is Too Short. You know what I mean?
That's the one. Life is.
I really wasn't there, honestly, but I never even played it, so I don't even know it. So you know, yeah, I was an East Coast, West Coast underground dude, and you know, I respected that West Coast gangster, you know, stuff like whatever, but that really wasn't my lane.
Well, we had other stuff on the West Coast. We had like E40. I don't even know about his first release. I didn't really get into it too much, but I know
the Feds. His first one.
I love E40. I know a lot of. He's one of the dudes that East Coast people diss, sort of like the way the world did the Shocker.
Federal.
I respect the hell out of E40, man. He's got some classic joints in his repertoire.
The first song I heard from him was "I Practice Looking Hard." I hated that song. I was like, that's the worst song. I Practice Looking Hard. Ooh,
you like that song?
I was like, what the fuck is he talking about? I practice? That's faking. And then when I heard Captain Save-A-Ho, my whole view of him changed. I said, oh, this is the best song ever.
and I hated that song. I was like, what is stupid? I hated Captain Save-A-Ho.
You hated Captain? That was my favorite
song.
It was like just a funny playing song, but Practice Looking Hard, I would bump.
Okay.
I would bump, you know what I mean? But yeah. Like E40 for real.
But on a different level, the same area. Well, no, I can't even say that. Well, fuck it, I will. Digital Underground.
Yeah, straight up.
That was a good ass album, man.
Great album.
Yeah, that was a good ass album.
Yeah, how they incorporated that funk, you know, that they had their own little clap, their own little snare, should I say? You know what I'm saying?
Packet, that was the first album.
Yeah, yes. Sex Packet was the first album.
Okay, yeah, that was some good shit.
So we moving on up.
Let's go to the 90s. We already said Ice Cube, right?
Well, you talk about the area, you might as well talk about Souls of Mischief too. So you know, I said, the West Coast Underground. I was definitely a fan of the Underground. So, you know,
I thought you were staying on the West Coast.
That is the West Coast. West Coast. Not only the West Coast, that's Oakland. That's like that.
No. I mean, I'm sorry. I meant West Coast. I meant are you going to Southern California?
We can stay in California. You know, whatever you want to do. You got something?
Did they DJ Quick? Quick as a name.
That's what I say too.
That's a hell of a debut album.
I was giving cues. You know what I mean? That was bro.
Great album.
Tonight is the night.
Hey, the Compton, what's name from Compton? That shit, man.
That's I would steal the thunder. You know what I'm saying?
I respect the hell out of his production. You know, he's definitely created some great songs. I was more of a fan of Compton's Most Wanted, CMW. You know what I'm saying? To me, I like MC8. I like his voice. I like, again, I wasn't really into that type of music, but that dude is a dope ass rapper. So, shout out.
And Second to None had a good album too.
Oh, yep, that was a great ass debut album.
I don't know. Hey, let me ask you this: was I guess I'm thinking about AMG. I was about to say, whose album was "Bitch Better Have My Money" on?
AMG.
Yeah.
I know, but I'm saying who's first? Whatever. If this album was on there, if that was the debut album, that needs to be on there just because of that song. That song had the underground clubs going.
But I still bump that album.
What'd you say? Student Next.
He said
I still bump that album.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good album. Good album.
I mean, that and Second to None. You know what I mean?
Vertical
I feel like they're
Joyride.
the same type of thing.
Hell yeah. Vertical Joyride.
Okay. So let's go back to the East Coast. Tribe Called Quest and Daylight.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That was a
Daylight.
bang.
You're gonna bring them up. You bundled them. You're gonna might as well bring up Jungle Brothers too. But yeah, I'll tell you, man, it's like Daylight. To me, that album literally like hip hop was kind of in a box, and then when Daylight dropped, the box just went away. Like you just really were like, okay, there's like whole nother lanes to take this into. I mean, to me, it's a classic ass, dope ass album.
What's that? Their collective name is Native Tongues, right?
Native Tongue. Yeah.
Right.
So, Buddy is like one of their big sort of like native tongue collaborations. You know what I'm saying? Particularly the remix. You know what I'm saying? But even the original song that was like on the Jungle Brothers album, I think it was on the Jungle Brothers album. That was dope. You know what I'm saying?
I love Jungle Brothers.
Yeah, Jungle Brothers, man.
And of course, we gotta bring up Wu-Tang, of course.
Yep.
That's gonna be on my list because to me.
Some people say that's number one.
Yeah, Wu-Tang did what the Juice Crew should have done. You know what I'm saying? That, to me, it's just like you had all these individual pieces that should have came together to sort of like be this super team, super piece, stuff like that. And even though the symphony is that super collaboration, you know what I'm saying? They just had factions and they fell out. And I'm sure KRS-One is like, had something to do with it, but really, they just, it's like Kane was like, I'm not really trying to go after KRS-One because I'm really good friends with him. Him and Miss Melody helped me move, you know what I'm saying? So he was like the first one to leave, and then I remember Craig G was like, he was like kind of like out of there. So it's like, really the only people that really stayed the whole time was you talking about MC Shan, Roxanne Shante, Biz Markie, you know what I'm saying? But ultimately, Big Daddy Kane brought them all back because Big Daddy Kane's the one that had cats going on tour, late in life. So, shout out to Big Daddy Kane for, getting the crew back together. But Wu-Tang, oh my goodness, that album, hey, Wu-Tang and Cypress Hill to me really saved like underground hip hop. They made underground hip hop mainstream hip hop.
Cypress had a good one too. Yes.
Man.
I had to adjust my perception of rap music when the Wu-Tang came out because all that rapping and karate kung fu stuff, I was like, what the fuck is who talk? I was listening, I was like, what the fuck? And then when Method Man came out, it was about I can relate to this one. METHOD, man. I didn't really like it, but I could understand it. Then I listened to the album.
You didn't grow up with Kung Fu theater on the weekends? Maybe
I did. And it still took me a long ass time to get adjusted to the music for a long time.
It was so
good. It wasn't until I went to New York.
Yeah.
Then it's like, okay. I was bumping up in New York. I was like, okay, this is cool.
Man, I can't, man. The second I heard METHOD, man, METHOD. I mean, they just, man, that Wu out. I'm not dissing, but like I said, it took me a while. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I didn't understand, and feel it. But then once I got to New York, and then I kind of took in the culture and whatnot, I was like, okay, I can see how this could be. You know what I'm saying? They're just a little ahead of the rest of us. You know what I mean?
I take offense to that. You notice how quiet it was when y'all was sitting there talking about a DJ Quick and all that stuff like that. That's basically how I felt. But I'm just saying, that Wu-Tang album from the very second that needle dropped, you know what I'm saying? Seventh Chamber to me is one of the greatest songs of all time.
Yeah, it's a cool song.
It's a top 10 song of all time for me.
Could be. I mean, that's a whole nother show. You know what I'm saying?
Well, since we're on Wu-Tang, we gotta say Method Man, his first album was great.
Oh, hell yeah.
Wait. Yeah. You talking about individual song, individual that Raekwon album was arguably as good as the Wu-Tang album or better. Yeah, you got
Purple
individual
Tape.
Wu-Tang member. Yeah, Purple Tape. Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
I put Giz's album over that one.
Who?
It was a great album.
I don't think I ever listened to his full album. The GZA.
It wasn't that I got the New York
I love
brother.
that
You know
album,
what I'm
but
telling you.
I don't think it was better than Incarcerated Scarface. I don't think the Purple Tape to me was probably the greatest individual because they were literally. I remember Brick Walls and Leroy. Shout out to my dudes. They would be like, I don't know which one is better. Sometimes they think the Wu-Tang album is better. Sometimes they think that the Raekwon album is better. I never thought it was better than the Wu-Tang album. But my point is that the fact that it was even in discussion shows you how like that was just a masterful work of art. Ice Cream. Come on, you know what I'm saying?
That song.
But you talk about Method Man. That first song. He even just did the remix, the METHO, then the remix of the Method Man. That song was a banger, man.
I got a big problem right here. Is that like my favorite album is in this group when we in right now all time. Period. So
let's hear it.
I'm supposed to say it, or am I? What I'm saying?
Go ahead.
No one said it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, speak on it. We want to hear it. What is it?
Dre the Chronic, bro. That's my number one all time. In
That's
terms
a
of
dope album.
everything, after Dre the Chronic.
It's a dope album. Mr. Floyd X thinks there's an album that's better than that.
I like Doggy Style better.
Oh yeah, Doggy
Both
Style.
of them.
Doggy Style is
I feel like that they wanted the same. But the thing about Doggy Style is all that hype. I didn't feel like it lived up to the hype. Because all the cancellations making us wait. No, making us wait all that goddamn time, bro.
Nice guy, articulated perfect. Give your LeBron analogy. Nice.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna tell you, you guys don't know about some of you people that are young. Snoop Dogg's been there your whole life, but you gotta understand. There was a time where we didn't have Snoop Dogg. Then we got a taste of Snoop Dogg of Deep Cover.
Deep Cover.
Yeah, and I'm telling you. And dude, you talking about Deep Cover and Nothing But a G Thing, you know what I'm saying? And I'm telling you, Snoop Dogg was the greatest, most hypest, anticipated artist.
Oh, he was for sure.
It was literally like LeBron James. LeBron James had the most ridiculous hype coming out about him, and somehow he lived up to it. It was crazy that LeBron James was able to live up to the crazy. And I'm just telling you that Snoop Dogg had that. No rapper I know of that I recall ever had the anticipation or the buzz like Snoop Dogg. And I'm gonna tell you that Snoop Dogg is like he's a national treasure. You know what I'm saying? Snoop Dogg is like a major life celebrity now. You know what I'm saying? So that's something to say about it. And his discography is amazing. So,
that shit, it reached across the. I was in Japan in the Navy when that album came out. When we heard Deep Cover, everybody on that ship was waiting for that Snoop Dogg to drop. We pulled in the port. Everybody went straight to the military store to get that album. Everybody, and it was gone. Someplace it was gone. In Japan, we was like, "Oh shit, Snoop Dogg!" That was, and it lived like he say, it lived up to the hype. Everything was tight on that album, man.
Hey, but Student X, I agree. I actually was disappointed when I heard it because I was expecting more like Deep Cover type stuff, not so much of the kind of the West Coast type stuff. But
I loved it. But what I'm saying is the only thing I'm saying is that it like with all the anticipation you're talking about, everything that happened. Great album, but it was like, damn, man, why do we have to wait this long for this? You know what I'm saying? Is what my
I got you. It's not a Snoop Dogg debate. Let's go ahead and move on a little bit.
But I will say this about the Chronic. I was protesting the Chronic, so I wasn't really trying to mess with MWA and none of those people because I was still upset about it. I was still upset about the Barnes.
How about Nas? Nas first album.
No, but I want to say that saying that Chronic. I still want to give Chronic.
No doubt, the Nas album.
But the Chronic is really is that album. But yes, the Nas album, that first album, that he again. You talk about Pete Rock, you're talking about Primo in their primes. You know what I'm saying? That was a great classic album. It's Yours, The World Is Yours is again one of my top probably 5 favorite songs of all time. You know,
And you know what? It only had like 10 songs on there, right? Let me say this:
9 or 10.
out of that and Big's first release, I can listen to Nas all the way through, and I can kind of skip through a couple of songs on Big's first album.
That's true. I agree with that statement.
No,
So I do like on that album.
Also, one of my favorite songs on Biggs, I mean, like from the first album, is really the remake. So I like that song, "Give Me One More Chance."
Yeah, the
I mean,
remake.
I like whatever, but I like the remix better. You know what I'm saying? The hip hop remix.
Yeah, the remix is definitely better.
So you know, so yeah, nah. So, but you talk about debut albums. You know,
Yeah.
album,
Ready to Die was is definitely up there.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Damn right.
you probably got to, even though I can't remember what songs are on Tupac's albums, I'm pretty sure that can be said about his.
Tupac Trap was his debut, right?
Oh, he was in the bear. He was in the era. I don't know.
His first album wasn't really all that to me.
Yeah, it was nothing.
Yeah, I was not a big Tupac
prior
fan.
till he got to Me Against the World to me.
Okay.
Nah, me and my niggas.
Strictly for my
That
niggas.
was
Hated
I
Brenda
played
Got
that
Baby.
album all the way through. Me and my what you said you hated? Which one?
Brenda Got a Baby. I thought it was.
That was the first album.
I wasn't
Yeah.
mad
I thought
at
it
that.
was
I ain't mad at you,
First album.
Mr. Nice Guy, because I feel the same way. You could have left
Yeah,
that.
I hated it.
Mm.
But so yeah, so you know, and we talking about all these cats from this era. So did we talk about Latifah? Man, I'm telling you, man, I banged this album. You're talking about, first of all, Wrath of My Madness is my joint. You know what I'm saying? But then Princess of the Posse was my joint. But they had a song with De La Soul. They had a song with KRS-One, The Evil That Men Do. This album was a dope. Matter of fact, that album with the song with the 45 King, rapping on it and stuff like that. This man, Latifah was dope. Latifah, because she could rap, she could sing. I mean, she really could rap and she really could sing. So, you know, I always have like the utmost respect for Latifah. She's definitely my favorite.
Oh, I think Yo-Yo had a great album. Her first album.
Oh yeah, sure.
She did, and she had a single. She had a single that did make it on there. Please go Google "Dope Femininity," one of the dopest hip hop songs of all time. It was so dope they couldn't even put it on there because they couldn't clear all them damn samples. But but it's an amazing song. My favorite.
I don't know how y'all felt about this, but I used to bump this all the time. Black Moon, Into the Stage.
Oh yes, definitely. Black Moon. I got you open on there. I got you open on there? Was that the second?
Yeah. But the remix was the one that was actually getting the play all the time. Though,
Yeah.
The original on there was a whole different.
Man, shout out to the whole boot camp clique. I mean, you talk about Smith and Wesson. What's that song? Bucktown. Oh my goodness. That's one of my favorite songs of all time. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you talk about
the original gun clappers.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Please, if you ain't heard it, Google it. You missing out. This is a classic joint. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
so
another one I used to live with, like my last year in high school, Black Sheep.
Black Sheep.
Yeah, Black Sheep.
I went back to listen to it. Yes, they have joints.
Great album. Great album.
And I'm about to give y'all one. I'm about to give y'all one because no one even has said anything about the South yet, and so I'm not gonna say anything like
in the era. Be careful. Are they in the era?
Yeah, no. I'm in the era we're in right now. I'm talking about like early '90s, early to mid '90s. You know what I mean? And no one. And when I heard this album, I remember, man, my boy Mike was playing it, and he was one of those cats where you'd be like, "Oh man, who's that?" And he wouldn't want to tell you because he wanted to be the only one bumping it. You know what I'm saying? I used to keep his word, man, for that. You know what I mean? But finally, I got the tape. You know, and there was 8 Ball JG coming out hard.
Oh, hell yeah.
Was
it? I knew you were gonna say like the Ghetto Boys or Scarface or something.
Yeah, come on, man. You know, that's I wanted to build up to that, you know what I'm saying? But I wanted to start out because that's a little known album, but it was cold blooded.
Hard. Yep.
Still in the mid 90s, Outkast.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Southern California. Yeah. That's the group that basically are in an argument for the greatest hip hop group of all time.
Yeah, it was a whole new sound. That was a whole.
That's top 10. That's top 10. I would say definitely top 20. To me, it's got to be top 10.
So let's talk about they hold the Dungeon Family. So now you got to talk about Goody Mob. That's that first song that they had. is
Self-therapy.
again is one of my favorite. Who's that looking in my window? Whatever that's. I don't know what the other name of the song is called. All I got to say is that's one of the greatest hip hop songs of all time.
Man, it get you hyped too. That song get me hyped, bro. You know, to this day.
Y'all hear Big Gip tell a story of how that song came out? He said one of the members they read the pale horse that
Beware the pale horse.
They read it. And he said, everybody, y'all need to read this. He said, everybody read that, and that's how that song came about, because everybody read that book.
Hey, one more from that time, Das Effects.
Yeah, Das Effects. We want effects.
Yep.
Yeah. Yes. Once you bring them up, now you got to bring out basically their whole clique. Because, you know, you have them cats like, you know, you talk about Redman.
Oh, the Death Squad or the other one?
Oh, they're all. It's basically the EPMD folks. You know, I'm not separating. To me, the Death Squad, I understand that the Hit Squad, they kind of faction off, but they're really part of the whole sort of like EPMD family, as far as I'm concerned. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, but Redman is one of the greatest ever. One of the greatest ever. You know, and literally Eminem says that's his favorite rapper of all time. So, you know, that's when someone like Eminem says that, that's for real. You know,
he said Redman his favorite rapper.
Redman is the greatest rapper of all time in his opinion.
Okay.
And for the, I'm sorry, bro. I was about to say just for the record is that when I was talking about the South, I didn't say Scarface. Not that he's not dope, but it just we were talking about debut albums, and I like the Scarface, the next album, The World Is Yours.
That's my problem. That's my problem with Public Enemy and some of these other things. You know, and honestly, when I think of Scarface, like you know, I think about like The Diary. I think it was called The Diary.
Yeah, that was cool. That's super dope.
His first one was Mr. Scarface, right? Mr. Scarface is back. That was the first one.
Scarface?
Yeah.
I didn't know too much about those. I didn't know too much about those cats. You know,
Born Killer, Mr. Scarface, Money and Power.
Hell yeah.
I mean, Ghetto Boys. You know, like I said, I didn't know too much about those cats until like you know, really Ghetto Boys to me. I didn't really know about them till Mine playing tricks on me.
Now, see, I heard that's the second album, and I heard the second album before I heard the first one.
For sure.
They might have been in the same, so that might have been a thing that they wasn't being played on the radio, so we missed that
out here, because it's like you know a lot of it's a big hustle. You know, getting people to play your radio, promotion. Yeah. You know, these record companies didn't have these national networks and stuff like that. So in the beginning, people were selling stuff out your trunk. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like Too Short. You know what I'm saying? It's just like you know. So it's a lot. It takes a lot of work for you to get out there and do what you need to do.
Hey, how can we forget Gang Starr?
We didn't forget. We just didn't get
Gang Starr.
What's the first? The Step in the Arena. That's the first one.
No. No More Mr. Nice Guy, I think it was.
That's the first album.
Mr. Nice Guy. That's why my first name is No More, KNOWMORE. So people would say No More, Mr. Nice Guy. But yeah, for sure. Wow. Hey man, you know, but you know, you're talking about Primo, Guru. I mean, one of the greatest duos, you know, in hip hop. You know what I'm saying? They are underground hip hop. You know what I'm saying? So you know, salute to those cats.
Hey, can I ask you guys a question?
Yeah.
Was Reasonable Doubt Jay-Z's first album?
Yes, and it was arguably the greatest hip hop album of all time. I don't care what anybody say. I'm not a big Jay-Z fan. I went back and listened to it. I am not a Jay-Z fan. I'm a person who thinks that Jay-Z is boring, but I think he is arguably the greatest. The songs, I listened to it. I was like, this is so sophisticated. Like, it sounds like something like if you were to create an album right now with the greatest hip hop minds and the greatest whatever, that's what it sounds like. If you go back and play that album, I was like, this is better than Nas's first album. Even though I think that Nas beat him with Ether, it's better than Nas. I went back and argued again. I wasn't fucking with Jay-Z. So that's what I'm saying. For me to tell you that, again, of course, it's my opinion. So if Smooth is listening, he got mad because I put his government name out there. But Smooth, shout out to Brother Smooth, who's a big part of a lot of us even knowing each other. You know what I'm saying? But he was talking about damn it, I forgot the hell what I was even talking about. What did I just say? It keeps talking about what he's about Jay-Z and you know but I'm just saying that I went back objectively and listened to him, And because again, I wasn't really messing with that guy, but I was like, this album is just a banger. Every single song on it was just a masterpiece. I mean, the production, just all of this stuff, you know. I mean, he got that song with Biggie, you know, where Biggie's talking about if Faith had twins, two Pacs.
Yeah. I still don't get that. I don't get. Can you explain that line? I don't get that line.
Hold on a second. First of all, she cheated with Tupac allegedly. So she said if she had twins, she would have two Pacs. T.W. basically Pac Jr. She would have two Pac Juniors, but it was a play on Tupac being Tupac. That's his name. So yeah. So no. It was. I thought you were being funny, but yeah, no. It again, you know, but it's just a dope ass album, you know. And again, like I said, Jay-Z. I love Jay-Z. I respect him. But to me, he's like Common. I respect him more than I like him as far as listening to him.
Yeah.
Boring.
Okay. How did y'all feel about Eric Sermon's first album, No Pressure?
I think it was good.
I have to hear it because I love the stuff.
I haven't heard it in a long time, but
amazing. Yeah,
it was a song on there called Hostile, which introduced Keith Murray. Yeah, I think Keith Murray.
I remember Keith Murray dropped. He was dope too.
Like, hey man, that whole segment, you know, the dude with the most beautifulest thing, you know what I'm saying? That was the song that it blew up. That was the song that was on MTV Raps and became like a classic joint. It's special to be able to reach that type of thing. Since we're saying that, we say Special Ed. Special Ed had a dope ass album.
Special Ed for sure.
But you know, he had that joint, I Got It Paid, which was a song that people they just went crazy over. You could play it in the hip hop underground. I thought it was a dope song. I didn't understand why people were so crazy about it. I think about it better, but you know, it was just that joint. So as I said that, sorry to be jumping in front of you. I gotta say Brand Nubian because that's another one. People love Slow Down, and I like Slow Down, but to me, that album is about All for One. All for One is that joint. You know what I'm saying? One for all for one. Because he got that line in there where he's talking about, you know, what, you know, something about guys like saying bye-bye, but you know, dumb bitch, but you've been cut off like a light switch, you know. So he sampled that word, you know, on his song. It says like in the guy song.
The dumb bitch didn't come from the guy song though. They didn't say that.
It's in there. It's 100% in there. It's 100%.
I guarantee you.
They may have taken it out. I'm just telling you, El Pooh, that song was in it. And Bye Bye, that song was in Dumb Bitch. And he sued them. Guys sued Brand Nubian for that. And they literally had to take it out. I think they don't do it on the video because of that. So it was literally in Bye Bye, you know, Piece of My Love. You can give me a piece of my love or whatever. Some dumb bitch. That song. It made it in there. It do say it
came from something else, brother. Trust me. I did research.
Piece of my love. You can give a piece of my love. It's where I'm waiting for you. It says where I'm waiting for you, dumb bitch. You know that it's the guy's song, dude. I'm telling you.
That, oh baby, that's what he's saying.
Aaron Hall was in there, so I don't doubt it because Aaron Hall was on.
They were playing around, and somehow they were playing around in the studio, and somehow that made it on the actual song, whatever. So they were upset about that, like, oh, that's not okay. Because they were playing that on the radio till the radio realized that it was saying that. So then they started censoring it. You know what I'm saying? So I remember it was a big deal, El Pooh. I may have been wrong about I Need Love. I ain't wrong about this one.
Well, look at Black Rob with the Whoa song. That nigga say DIC K Riders ain't whoa. Nobody caught that?
Man, don't bring up that song, man. That's the dope ass song. But I played that song. I was DJing for the debut of Girlfriends, the TV show. I was the DJ in the crowd that was help warming up the crowd and stuff like that. And I remember one of the actors was like, man, I love that song. Whoa. I'm like, oh, I got that. I'll go get that from my car. And I got it. This is a whole family audience. You know what I'm saying? Kelsey Grammer produced it. They're all sitting there and stuff. This song is the most vile song. I'm sitting there trying to manually edit the whole song. It was an absolute mess.
Did it have a radio version?
I didn't have the radio version. I had the regular version, and that was a lot of work trying to censor it live for that artist. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that was a great memory for me.
Hey, I got another one here. This is kind of controversial, but Lauryn Hill.
How's that controversial?
That's not controversial.
Some people say it's an R&B album.
Rick Wall said he's wrong.
Top 20 for sure.
Man.
Top 20 for sure. So speaking of being hype, I remember, like, I don't even understand how, if I even got introduced to her in the right order, because I first saw her on Sister Act, and I was like, damn, this is this talent. She could act and she could sing like this, and she rapping. You know what I mean? And then
I guess it was, huh? Because she was young, and I never saw the movie.
Oh, you never saw the movie?
I ain't either.
Oh, brother, that's what introduced her to me. You know what I mean? And then I found out who she was. I said, oh, damn, this is her. I said, yeah, there's no way. I knew she was gonna be famous.
I think she performed at the Apollo as a kid too, correct?
Yes, she did.
Yeah.
Oh, so she been doing it then.
She been doing it, but Fuji's, Fuji's
top
was her
20 of all time for sure.
Oh, okay, I got another one for y'all then. Here come the Lords of the Underground.
Psycho. I was like really hyped for them because they were Marley Marl and Psycho and whatever and stuff like that. To me, that was the underground, and then you heard the albums. It didn't sound very underground to me.
Did we forget about Eric B. and Raquel?
No. We talked about somebody said that earlier for sure, but
he brought him up when he brought up BPMD.
Yeah. But what I think it was El Pooh that said Black Star, but then right
he said Black Sheep. I said Black Star.
Oh, you said Black Star, but the whole thing is that Mos Def deserve his own situation because his album is definitely in top 20.
I was listening
Black
to
on both sides with that mathematics.
I don't think I ever listened to his album.
But it's dope cuts on that. Miss Fat Booty on there, hip hop.
That's the joint right there.
But Mathematics, that was my favorite one. But no, it's all he got some bangers on that one. And then he was displaying the skills too, because that's when I discovered that brother got.
And he's a freestyle dude. He's a dude that can do just like that off the top.
Yeah.
So I've always used them as an example of explaining things like Black Star. I say Talib Kweli is a better lyricist than Mos Def, but Mos Def is a better rapper than Talib Kweli because he's just got way more flavor. You know what I'm saying? Just his production, his delivery, his cadence, and all that, his voice, all of that stuff. Talib is really dope as a lyricist, but he's almost kind of boring. You know what I'm saying? So it's just but still, I love Talib Kweli. I love Black Star. See, I wanted to say Mobb Deep, but it's their second album that's got the one that the joints.
Right, you
know what I'm saying? I wanted to say that. I wanted to say that.
Yeah, the first time I saw Juvenile Hill, I don't think nobody heard.
It's arguably the greatest hip hop song of all time.
Which one?
Shook Ones is arguably the greatest.
Yeah, Shook Ones. Yeah, bro, come on.
So that's why I wanted.
That's why a motivator song too.
Can we do this real quick? Can we go into a little bit of 5 minutes of funk? I got a question for everybody. This is something that just came across my desk a couple of days ago. Do y'all know that Missy L song that if it's worth it, let me work it. I put my game down, flip it. What is that? What is she saying?
She literally rewinds. I've rewinded purposely. I rewinded back. She says the very first thing that she says in English right before and backwards. So they just rewind it back. They literally.
What it's saying is,
she just
flip my game down, flip it, and reverse it. That's what we do.
So as the DJ, I needed to know. Matter of fact, you bring that up. It's very funny because UTFO, which deserves respect as well as far as the first album, you know what I'm saying. But UTFO had an album where they got this thing goes backwards and stuff like that. So literally, as you rewind it back, they go, look at this dumb motherfucker playing the album backwards and stuff like that. Hey, you dummy. So they're like trying to get us to play with their, you know what I'm saying? We hear the backwards, so we play it backwards to hear what they're saying, and then they're just basically making fun of you. So, but shout out to UTFO because Leader of the Pack, Bite It, Roxanne, you know what I'm saying?
That's the cut.
That's the shit.
So yeah.
Roxanne.
Roxanne was saying, like, if you weren't there, you just don't know. It took over the world, like hip hop.
Yeah, what's up, man? Think of that girl they call Roxanne. She's all stuck up. Why you say that? Because she wouldn't give a guy like me no rap. That shit was hard.
Man, it was dope, man. And shout out, rest in peace to actually both Kango Kid and the Educated Rapper. Man, I used to love the Educated Rapper. That was my guy right there.
Let me throw another one up in there. Warren G had a great album too.
Oh hell yeah,
Warren G, West Coast banger. We can say the whole West Coast, you know what I mean? Spice One, you just go up and down the whole thing, you know what I mean? It's gonna be bangers to me.
Spice One, man. I can't tell you about no Spice One. Me and Walk gonna get into. You bring up Spice One, man. It's gonna be a whole
Spice
fight on
One.
the show.
Rapper, Spice One, shit, hell yeah.
Yeah. So
Let me say this. I know we went through a whole lot. We probably didn't get to everybody, but what was your favorite debut album of all time, in your opinion, Mr. Student X?
Y'all already know, man. I say Chronic, but to me, the Chronic and Doggy Style is like one and the same. You know what I mean? Because they, you know, it was like a prequel, and then the closer was that Snoop Dogg. You know what I mean? So, you know, but if I had to pick one or the other, the Chronic, and mainly I would just say just do the cultural, impact, just everything that we were introduced to. The West Coast got, introduced to the world through the Chronic. You know what I mean? Like you got cats coming to the LA right now, and the Bay swooping up, Impalas, for $200,000-$300,000 because they was watching, the Chronic album, videos, like that.
You saying the West Coast lifestyle was introduced to
and look, Snoop was on it, everybody was still on it, so it was just like that was like the start of an era, that just ended up dominating, the world for a second, you know what I'm saying? So I mean,
properly introduced the G-Funk era to the world, for real.
Word.
All right, let me Mr. Floyd X. What was your favorite debut?
Snoop Dogg, Doggy Style. That was it. That was so huge, man. Snoop Dogg, Doggy Style. I love that shit.
Spin that back. Mr. Nice Guy, what would you say?
I would say Run DMC, except for the fact that Raising Hell was a better album. I got the same, so I can't say PE. So I'm going to say De La Soul. Because that album was literally the one. Plug Tuning is, again, that is in a running for one of the greatest hip hop songs of all time for me. So, I'm definitely going to say De La Soul.
Okay, spin that back one time. And for me, I have to give it to the DOC. No one can do it better. I think that album was a banger all the way through. I think he had styles and skills, and he just brought a refreshment to the hip hop game. And he's the biggest what if in hip hop, period. There you go.
And
we're not in closing, so we still need to talk about. So we're not getting out of here just yet because we got to talk about the Critical Beatdown from the Ultramagnetic MCs. This is a classic ass album. Now I understand if you are super leaning to the West Coast, maybe this is not going to be your thing, but this is an East Coast underground classic. Said G, masterful production on this joint. All of those cats. You know what I'm saying? So that's going to be one of my favorite albums. And honestly, Stetsasonic, that first Stetsasonic album was a banger. They were the band before the Roots was the band, but I mean, you got to talk about the Roots too. Honestly, their first album, their debut album. You know what I'm saying?
There was the Wu-Tang before the Wu-Tang. All them rappers. I used to love that shit.
And we rushed over. We didn't say but Eminem, which is as a reminder. Yeah, we did say Eminem, but I know that song is very disrespectful, and D Barnes will hate me for saying it. But Guilty Conscience is one of the greatest songs ever. You know what I'm saying? So, I understand that it's wrong, and I'm sorry, D. I love you, but that song is still a banger. I'm sorry. Shout out to Snoop Lover C and Casanova Run. Man, Girls, I Got 'Em Locked. I love that album.
Hell yeah.
I got anybody else got anything to say in closing?
No, I mean just on that point. Oh, no, go. My bad, brother. Go ahead.
I just want to say the biggest debut album that never happened, The Lady of Rage.
That's a debate. We might have to have a show on that.
It never happened.
Lady of Rage, she was cool.
Oh yeah.
And shout out to KMD. I don't know if you haven't seen this, heard this album. This is like, I love it. This is where we're starting to get there with the consciousness. This is back when Dr. York, before he went over the deep end, when he was Imam Issa, and we had the Ansar community, and I mean their first song was Peach Fuzz, which was a dope song, but but that album, it's a really clever album because it's almost like a movie. Literally, they have like this sort of like dude, they call him Mr. Hud, which is like this white guy just doing kind of stupid stuff, but it's just the way that how everything sets up. It's just a very intelligent, very conscious album, very dope. You know what I'm saying? And you know, and Seb Love X, who's sort of like the lead MC from the group, he was the dude that ultimately became MF Doom. So you know what I'm saying? Who's, you know, very near and dear to a lot of underground hearts and stuff like that. So, you know, KMD.
Yeah. And rest in peace, Sub Rock. What was it called? Sub Rock?
Yeah, DJ Sub Rock, you know. Yeah, you know, him and his brother, Sub Rock, who was basically, as I understand it, he was playing chicken with a car, and car won. So, you know, yeah.
All right. Well, with that being said, we'd like to thank y'all for joining us here. Spin That Back show once again, 10:30 on the Saturday morning. Go back to the archives and look at the YouTube videos. We got a lot of them up there, a lot of good stuff. We will be back sometime before the summer's over, hopefully. It's damn hot out here. But anyway, thank you, brothers, for joining us, and we're going to be out here.
And shout out to Born Alive's first album as well.
All right, y'all. Peace.